What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What is good? What is good? God is good. God is great. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight. Let's see who we got on. Who we got on? Y'all know what we do. Y'all know the routine. Tell me where you from and what school you claim. Now, we ain't bothered and triggered by all things FAMU. FAMU. No, I'm messing with FAMU. See who else we got up in here. So everybody got jokes today. As always, we got the good old Chuck, Monroe, Louisiana. Chris Dukes checking in as always. Mr. Quay, how you doing today? See who else run up in here. Southbound as always, checking in from the ATL. Yeah, checking in from Atlanta, GA. We got Uncle Sid up in here, the SWAC Championship Hotline. He'll probably come on tonight and give us another rendition of the hotline for what we need. Miss Modestly, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you in here. Marty Ma. Marty Ma. And we got the Southern Crook up in here, Adrian Crook. Canton, Mississippi. She said Canton, Mississippi. Exit 119 is in the building. It's that, yeah, you know what it is. It's that blue magic, baby. Shout out, what's going on, man? What's going on? Connell, we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that. Yeah, we got. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you on in a little bit, but before we do that, man, we gotta hit that commercial so we get that sponsor out right there. HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. We back. We are back. We are back. Welcome back to episode 18 of HBCU Tonight in conjunction with HBCU Overdrive, where all HBCUs matter. Make sure that you like this stream, share it with your folks, share it with your people, share it with your family. Comment, and most of all, subscribe so we become family up in here. We got, who else we got up in here? We got up in here Simply, what's up? That's all the JSU haters in the chat. You already know. Miss Mary from the 305. How you doing? And the missus is in the building. So she is. Make sure we got a great show. Well, she will pull up on you. She will pull up on you. Pull up on me. She'll pull up on you. I'm just letting you know. Miss Amber's in the building as always. Joe Owens, what's going on? What's going on? Pull up, she will pull up on you. And if you in Jackson, we'll be in Jackson next Thursday. We gonna pull up on ya if you in Jackson. So we'll be there we'll be there officially for stepson's orientation. So if people in Jackson, hey, just come say hey. You got Franklin in the house. What's going on? So look, I ain't gonna. Oh man. So I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Look, y'all know, like I said, it's HBCU tonight. So what we gonna get into, man? What we gonna get into? First thing first, before we get into that, we did get I did see a report of all the institutions, athletic institutions that had ended in a surplus for the previous year. So let me see where I can find it at, and I can read it out to you. Yeah, I can find it. I can read it out to you. That way we can get all this out the way. I think I seen my bro HBCU Nightly. Shout out to my bro Josh. He's on a sabbatical for the space, so he'll be back. Um, he'll be back in July, so in a couple of weeks. But anyway, man. So the most revenue in D1 HBCU athletic programs for the year. Number one was Southern University, of course. Number two was preferably what my friend Josh would tell you, the school down the highway, aka North Carolina A&T. Number three is Delaware State. Number four is Norfolk State. Five is Tennessee State. Six, Bama State. Seven, Prairie View. Eight, Alabama A&M. Nine, Texas Southern, and 10 is South Carolina State. Coming in at 11 and 12, what we have here is FAMU at 11 and Jackson State at 12. Hey, what's going on, Blue? Graham at 13, North Carolina Central 14, 15 is Morgan State, 16 is Pine Bluff, 17, even though they're not a HBCU, but they are a predominantly black institution, which is Chicago State. On number 18, Maryland Eastern Shore, 19, 19 Alcorn, 20 Coppin State, and 21 is Valley. Now, this is coming from a bro, Stan Beckton, who pretty much brought everything out. So, number one with the most expenses out, meaning that this is how much you, as the school, you spent. So Prairie View 1, 2, Southern Bama State is 3, Delaware State is 4, number 5 is Norfolk, 6 Tennessee State, 7 A&T, 8 Morgan, 9 A&M, 10 Texas Southern, 11 Jackson State. Last on the list is Valley, of course. Now, the schools that turned a profit last season was this past year was number one South Carolina State with a plus $5.4 million profit. Number two is FAMU with 1.1 million in profit. Number three is A&T with 542,000 in profit. Four is Jackson State with 184,000 in profit, and five is Norfolk State with $1,000 in profit. Now these schools broke even. Delaware State, Tennessee State, Texas Southern, North Carolina Central, Eastern Shore, and Mississippi Valley. They all broke even. And the schools that are in the negative right now. So right now, leading in the negative is Prairie View at minus 4.5 mil. Morgan State, 3.8 mil in the negative. Alabama State, 3.3 mil in the negative. Coppin State, 1.1 mil in the negative. Grambling, 955K under. Alcorn, 704K under. Chicago State, 397K under. Southern, 395K under. Alabama A&M, 183K under. And Pine Bluff at 39K under. So these are the lists that, this is the list that basically all the schools that you turn a profit. You've had the most expenses out. The ones with the most revenue would be the most important, and the second important is how much you turned as far as into going from a deficit to a surplus. And then, like I said, the schools to break even, which is cool. You know, you broke even. You didn't really spend a lot. I mean, but you spend how much you bring in. So that's how that's how you break even. That's how you break even. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. But man, look, we about to get into the show tonight. And as you see, look, y'all already know. Y'all see the title. Y'all took over Jackson State. The alum that took over Jeff Lightsy's junior channel. And what I mean by that is, man, y'all took over that interview inside of the chat with Willie Simmons. I had to watch it for myself because I didn't get to see it because while we were on the show last night at 7:00. So people who was watching that, you know, they filed in after they watched that. And then I got the news about how the I Love took over the show. So shout out to them Tigers off of Lynch Street. So it's cool. It is good. And I'm going to say it like this. Willie Simmons is one hell of a coach. We said that before. Willie Simmons is one hell of a coach. Where he took the head coaching job at Prairie View. Prairie View kind of went back into his losing season after Henry Frazier left to go back to the East Coast. Now, Willie Simmons took over Prairie View. They went, I think their first year went 9-2. It was 9-2. And then, you know, he had some 74, 65s, but that was enough for him to get the job at FAMU. Of course, y'all know Willie Simmons is a Florida native. He's a Florida boy, Quincy, Florida, which is pretty much closer to Tallahassee. You know, he took his talents to Clemson University. He was the quarterback there at Clemson University. He was taught under Rich Rodriguez, who was the offensive coordinator at Clemson University at the time. He was under Tommy Bowden, who was the head coach at the time. There, you know, he did some spectacular things at Clemson. And basically that's where he went into coach's mode. So he gets to FAMU, and right off the bat, we can't say anything bad about this man because as far as with him turning programs around, that is one thing that Willie has on him. He can turn a program around. He can turn a program around because remember, we got this timeline. We got this timeline for FAMU. And I'm sorry for all the folks that are FAMU alums in here. Your timeline for mediocrity was 2004 to 2017, the year that Willie came on the scene. So that right there, and then plus you going into the MEAC, you go 9-2 2 years in a row, but you were ineligible for the Celebration Bowl because one, an APR, and two, you lost a tiebreaker. You lost the BA championship to North Carolina A&T 1 year. What it do, B Rob? Craig Hall, what's good? Uh um, but like I said, 9-2 and 9-2, and then okay, y'all remember no season in 2020, COVID. Spring 21 really didn't come in because why? FAMU came into the SWAC in July. Yeah, July 1st, 2021. So once they came in, he goes 9-2. It's none that we can dispute. There's none that we can argue about that. Team was 9-2 with a game manager as quarterback. um, then you turn around, you go 9-2 again. So you go 9-2 again. Hey, you did what you did. You did what you had to do. Okay, your first year in the SWAC, you go 9-2. You get to the playoffs. You get skull drugged by Southeast Louisiana, and hey, you ended off with a 9-3 record. Boom. All right, and then you want to self-proclaim yourself as the HBCU national champs. Now, last season, guess what? You go 9-2 again. Then you try to lobby yourself like you's a damn politician. Like, man, you see the record that we had. We had a run. We know we can do this. Guess what? You got snubbed out of the playoffs. You got snubbed out of the playoffs. That struggle win against Albany State killed your argument. Plus, let's drum roll, please. 59-3 to Jackson State. Oh Lord. 59-3 to Jackson State. That killed your whole argument. Killed the whole argument. Killed the whole argument. Oh Lord. And first of all, how can we rep off a celebrity coach? We not ripping off a celebrity coach. If you know our fan base, if you know Jackson State's fan base, our fan base is a rather peculiar fan base. We reside off of conference championship wins. We reside off of national championship. I mean, of course, FAMU does the same thing, but I'm not ripping off of a celebrity coach. No way. I rip off the university and what we had, what we was, and what we got now. Now, now, watching Jeff Lightsy. Y'all know my boy Jeff Lightsy, man. Y'all know he covers a lot of Jackson State football, and y'all know that he is not an HBCU alum. He went to Western Kentucky, and he's in the space of covering sports. So that is who that is who he goes on. And of course, he's been doing this for a minute, so it's not like he got on the scene when Dion became the head coach of Jackson State. You know, that's not him, and I can tell you certainly that ain't me, because I came in off the heels about wanting to do other things, but I love sports. I love my school. I love all HBCUs. So I pretty much brought this platform out here. FAMU has a natty. Okay, FAMU has a natty. FAMU has a natty. Guess what? FAMU has a natty. That was 40 45 years ago. Put it just like that. 45 years ago, that was y'all natty. When the last time y'all won a HBCU national championship? I'll wait. Mhm. When last time y'all won a conference championship? I'll wait. I mean, I can tell you when the last time we won one. We won one in the 19. We won the HBCU national championship in 1996. Yeah, we had the same amount of Celebration Bowl wins, but guess what? We can actually say that we've been to the dance. Y'all been on the outside looking in. So, so Willie gets on. He interviews Willie Simmons. Okay, like I said, he interviews Willie Simmons, and basically, uh, they started talking about the program as of right now. So basically, we they asked the questions about players coming back. Um, I, they started talking about players that coming back, and then it kind of reminded them about the players like about his star defensive end that left linebacker that left out, and they went into the portal and came back. See the difference? Isaiah Land left out and came back to FAMU. Guess what? He regressed. Kamari Stevens left out, went into the portal, came back to FAMU. It's a we shall see. So we shall see if he's going to be the ish or is he's going to regress. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna save all the rhetoric. I'm gonna save all the busting y'all on busting y'all side of the head for another time. But all I can say is it when the show started, it really wasn't nobody in the chat. It really wasn't too many people on the live, right? It really wasn't too many people in the chat. What's up, man? Well, what's up, bro? Um, all I gotta say is as soon as one FAMU person got on the show, the family from 1400 JR Lynch Street came in droves and brought in that blue magic baby. So so he comes in and he was explaining about what was going on with FAMU and then Jeff uh Jeff being Jeff because Jeff you can't have a show without Jeff being Jeff uh was talking about Jackson State. Of course, that's your main. We are your main competition. There's nobody else in the SWAC in the last 2 years that has not been your main competition, but Jackson State. He comes on there. He talks about Jackson State. He talks about the back and forth with Mrs. Brandy on Twitter, and I promise you, Miss Brandy probably would have read him his rights if he wanted to. If she wanted to, she probably would have read him his rights. On Twitter, and you going back and forth. You a head coach. First of all, you a head coach. You shouldn't even put yourself in that situation. You shouldn't put yourself in that situation, but you did. You did. And when the bullets start flying, look like Coach Simmons start ducking. The bullets start flying, Coach Simmons started ducking. First of all, and then he gets on this. He he said that the quote unquote blue block the where the he called it's the Orange Blossom Classic, but quote unquote we call it the Blue Blossom Classic. He said in the Orange Blossom Classic that it was self-inflicted, that they beat themselves. You did not beat yourself. You did not beat yourself. You basically you started the game off terrible. You started the game off terrible. And the crazy thing about it is we didn't let up. We did not let up in that whole game. And here's the thing: people always, this is what people gets me. Well, y'all out talented everybody. Y'all had all the talent. Well, if we had all the talent, that game last season, instead of it being 59-3, because we gave y'all 3 points. We gave y'all 3 points. That game should have been at least by 70. Y'all, we should have put 70 on the board, y'all. That's how bad that game was. We missed 2 potential touchdowns because we shot ourselves in the foot. But that game should have been way worse than what it was. Perfect example. The Grambling game. We played, was the 3rd game of the season, the Grambling game. You see how we came back, we came out of the halftime. We scored 42 straight points at the halftime. Remember, the halftime score was 24-17. We scored 42 straight points after halftime. We should have put it up 70 in that game. So let's get back to let's get back to good old FAMU. You scored 3 points. In the last 2 years, you only scored 9 points. 9 points. We have a 57 in the last 2 years. We have a 57-point difference between y'all. You scored 9 points in the last 2 years. I am not repping out the coach. I'm just saying. You scored 9 points in the last 2 years. Now, like I said, I give you the benefit of the doubt for FAMU because I said I said Jack State gonna win the game for this season, but it's not gonna be as by a lot like we did last season. Miss Jean, yes, it did. That those 3 points came off of a penalty because we shot ourselves in the foot. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. So no, yes, Israel, no touchdowns in the last 2 years. No touchdowns in the last 2 years. So now now last season's beatdown was self inflicted. It was not self inflicted. It was not self inflicted. It was basically we beat the brakes off of y'all. We beat the brakes off of y'all. So now let's get into this because I need somebody up here. I need somebody up here to kind of dispel the rumor about this, about FAMU having the best head coach and the best QB in the SWAC. So anybody want to come up here and speak their piece about that this issue? Y'all come on up here. Y'all come on up here. I'm not even tripping because I'm gonna say it is the best QB in the SWAC last season. Yes, he's in Colorado. Oh Jesus! So slimy crackheads. Wow. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Hey, guess what? Guess what? All y'all talking to the noise, talking about y'all got the best QB and the best head coach in the SWAC. I give you that as far as the head coach goes, but the best QB, nah, y'all need to stay off that booger sugar. That is some strong booger sugar that you on. It's so strong. It's basically like y'all know that scene with on Scarface and Tony Montana was at his desk and he had this big old pile of white powder on the desk and he just dipped his head up in there and all you seeing his nose look like a damn Q stick. That's what y'all look like, FAMU. So if anybody wants to jump in, come on in. Uncle said if you still on the chat, you still in the chat, come on in because we need the SWAC championship hotline for these FAMU Rattlers. I don't know what yet, the white powder. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I said give him 10 minutes. Okay, so first of all, why y'all had the worst running game? Okay, here go all the excuses. Had the worst running game, and while targeting one guy, who fault is that? Hey, hey, Adrian, let me know when you who y'all quarterback is and get back with me. Let me know who your quarterback is and Southern and get back with me. I got all night. You already know, Blue. You already know. Whoever loses the OBC, boy, we got everybody got to get off Twitter. If FAMU loses the OBC again for the third year in a row, they should not be allowed on Twitter ever. I mean, it's a QB battle in Jackson. But guess what though? Where your QB battle at? Who y'all QB? Who who is Southern's QB? So let's get all up in here, man. Let's get all up in here. Cause, cause I mean I love y'all. Y'all like family, but y'all like that distant cousin that comes to the family reunion all the time and don't say too much of anything and you stay to yourself. So I would never close house because I cover all HBCUs. It just so happened that I'm a Jackson State alum. So I could show my face. I could show all this pretty 43-year-old face all day, every day. I ain't running. I am not running. I don't run for nobody. So and they don't I'm gonna let y'all know, don't get Avis started up in here. Do not get Avis started up in here. 'Cause he will get on you. But look, man, I'm gonna say it just like this. Willie gone Willie. Willie gonna Willie. That's all I gotta say. And shout out to Jeff though. I mean, still shout out to Jeff for even doing an interview with Willie Simmons. I mean, if I probably get Willie on here, he'll probably say no because he already know, man. Look, this is pretty much this is just a family, but it's everybody up in here. But you gonna catch this smoke. You gonna catch this smoke. So let's get into this self inflicted. I wanna know what was so self inflicting about the loss last season, where after the loss it seemed like FAMU struggled in like four other games because after the loss you played Albany State, you struggled against Albany State, even though it was a 10-point win. You struggled against Albany State. So I'm pull up this schedule. I'm pull up the schedule over here. So I'm gonna pull up the schedule. I'm gonna pull up the schedule for FAMU from last season. And don't get me wrong, y'all did start out to a slow start. You stayed the course against North Carolina, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the Tar Heels suck. Because if that was, I'm gonna tell you just like this: if that was Mac Brown in his early Texas coaching days, y'all would have got obliterated off the field. I'm just being serious. Y'all would have got obliterated off that field. So, like I said, 9-2 last season, 7-1 in the conference. You got a 9-game winning streak right now. 5-0 at home. I mean, don't get me wrong, y'all got a what a what's y'all home win streak right now? 9-0 in the last 2 years at home. So y'all are 15-0 at home in the last 3 seasons. I give y'all that. I would give y'all that. I would give FAMU that. Y'all know how to win at home. I give you that. All right. So last season, of course, you lost 56-24 to North Carolina Chapel Hill, man. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all held it. Y'all held with, and plus you had over 20 players out because of certification issues. Then, of course, the obliteration at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami against Jackson State, 59-3. And then here's where you go on your winning streak. So Albany State, you won the game 23-13, but you struggle in the game. You struggle in the game. And the reason why I say you struggle in the game is that you had some sort of semblance of a run game, but you, to me, the game you should have blown them out. And that's where I'm getting at, where you say you got this great team, but you didn't show any type of dominance. There was no dominance with this team. And, and yeah, Blue, that is impressive. They 15-0 at home in the last and since 2019. So that I'll give them that. And here's the thing. Oh, hold on now. You said last season was Willie's second worst team at FAMU, but you went 9-2. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. You said this is your worst. This is second worst team at FAMU, but you went 9-2. So let's continue. So you back at Bragg, you play Alabama A&M 38-25. All right, let's see. You basically halftime 19-14, and then you score 24 more points in the second half. So I'm gonna just say, I mean, you did what you're supposed to do. Third quarter, you shut them out. Fourth quarter, you held them to 6 points. Now, this could have been a different game if A&M's quarterback play was a little bit better. So I would give you that. I would give y'all that. Then you beat Mississippi Valley 34-7. Of course, I mean you played them at Bragg because if this was in Itabena, that score would have been a whole different score right there. You go to Orangeburg, you play South Carolina State. You won that game 20-14. Ugly game, y'all. And then this is when I learned about FAMU and SC State. They don't like each other. Y'all don't like each other. You scored 20 points through 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter you got blanked out. South Carolina State scored 14 straight. It pretty much was marching down the field, and they shot themselves in the foot. You held on for the win. I would give you that. I would give you that. That is a rivalry game for FAMU. Then 20, you go to Grambling. Like I said, y'all know it's hard to beat Grambling in the hole. You did beat Grambling. You won 20-16. This game right here, This game right here, I was like, okay, because it could have went either way. Grambling was a terrible team last season. They had a 7-point lead over y'all in at halftime. So the score was 10-3 at halftime. You wake up in the third quarter to take the lead 17-10, and Grambling comes try to come back, and we that game right there, it was the play calling was terrible. So the Rattlers traveled to Grambling, Louisiana with lead winners, but they did not make it easy for themselves, and they finished with 14 penalties for 171 yards in the 20-16 win. Y'all was undisciplined too, so 14 penalties for 171 yards. So this is the tale of two halves. Rattlers could not get much going on the offensive side of the ball at the end of the half with only 3 points and 131 total yards. So you had 89 yards passing, 42 rushing in the first half. In the second half, the Rattlers scored 17 points and had 209 total yards. So you upped it. You basically doubled it. 137 yards passing, 72 yards rushing in the second half. In the second half, the Rattlers' 2 offensive touchdowns came off a 4-yard pass from Jeremy Musa to Jeremiah Pruitt. As Pruitt caught his first career touchdown on the next drive, Musa found the end zone on a 2-yard run for his first rushing touchdown of the season. And then you had special teams troubles outside of the 2 field goals by Romo Martinez. The Rattlers' special teams struggled on 2 significant instances. At the end of the first half, the Rattlers did not kick a field goal, and the Tigers recovered it on a FAMU 17 to capitalize with the only offensive touchdown of the game to give them a 10-3 lead going into the half. Shooting yourselves in the foot. Terrible special teams. Kamari Stevens has set a career high in this game with 3 sacks. It's a 3-sack game. Of course, you did it again. Like I said, you did that against terrible competition. Oh yeah, so we come with most stats today. You want to join? You want to jump in and join because I know you the stats guy. We could come in and join, get the stats going. We get the stats going. I know you going. We got 40 minutes left, so this not gonna be a long. This not gonna be a long show. Come on up, hey Zoe. Everybody loved you yesterday. uh, so basically, fam, that game, you shot yourselves in the foot. You almost lost that game. So I wouldn't be too thrilled about that win because Grambling was not that good last season. So you back at Bragg the next week. You play Pine Bluff. You beat them 27-6. Not gonna get into a recap on that. November the 5th. That we got to that. You back in Bragg Stadium. You play Southern University. You beat Southern 30-16. Like I said, Southern is a natural rival for FAMU. Y'all have played each other since the 30s. And here's the one I that kind of threw me off for a loop. This is the one where you played Bama State in Montgomery, Alabama. At the time, the score was 15-14. You were up. Bama State driving down the field. Um, your defense was porous in that last drive. Bama State goes to kick the field goal, try to win the game with the field goal. And I'll tell you this, the wind was blowing real hard because I think a cold front came through that night. The wind was blowing. Um, and Guess what? You block the kick, you return it for a touchdown, you seal the game. Now, if Bama State would have kept the clock, if they would have kept the clock going, basically they would have lost the game regardless. But let's see. So FAMU show they fight in Montgomery, defeating the Alabama State Hornets 21-14 despite 3 turnovers in the red zone. Yeah. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, your defense played great in that game. But yeah, nobody had a running game, and both teams was forcing passes. That was Moose's worst game. Mm, 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 mm. And then when you got in the red zone, you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't do nothing. But man, let me see. Then you go on to obliterate Bethune-Cookman 41-20 in the Florida Classic. And guess what? After that, you were pleading your case to the NCAA to say, please bring us into this playoff. Please put us in a playoff. Please, can you put us in a playoff? Can you get us in a playoff? Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you again. So all right, there you go, Zo. I understand that the QB play is holding us back. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
I'm
Can you
good.
hear me?
Oh yeah, well, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear, man. So I like I said, Willie gone Willie. Somebody in the chat said that this is Willie's second worst team. If this is Willie's second worst team
And go ahead.
in his coaching tenure at FAMU, you still win 9-2.
If this is his second worst team, that's not a humble brag, by the way, by making that comment.
Right. Right.
It's not a humble brag.
I'm just saying, and see how you put it in where it said a brag.
Yeah. Let me say this though, because I gotta say it. I'm a Willie Simmons fan, by the way.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I like Willie.
I'm a Willie Simmons fan. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good guy personally. I really do. I think his record, he should be commended for his record. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we can't pick and choose what data we want to use. And the thing about stats and data that I hate is that, we say two things can be true, but it's like we only tend to want to highlight the data that's going to show in our favor, as opposed to showing the data, because numbers are numbers. They are what they are. So, like, we talk about what he's done. Yeah, he has a great record, but it's like we want to bypass him and say, oh, well, those are Deion Sanders teams. He out-talented everybody else. So, yeah, he could lose to that Jackson State and that's it. But you can't bypass what he did before then, because he lost to a horrible Tony Hughes. And we can sit here and talk about a fluke or whatever, but again, when you say Willie gone Willie, that thing originated against Jackson State. And Anytime you got a proven coach who he has a black eye, where you can sit there and say he's 0-2 against first-time head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible stat line. I don't care nothing about 9-2 when the 2 comes to JSU.
Right.
So, and again, great coach, doing great things, but I'm just gonna pull a coalition on the coalition. If you want to sit there and say that you got to see TC do it, well, damn it, you got to see Willie Simmons do it too. So you can't sit here and say that you're gonna hold him to a standard and you ain't never seen what he could do against JSU because he over.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, you say, but here goes, he's saying against Deion Sanders. No, that's not against Deion Sanders. That's against Jackson State. In your own classic.
Hey, hold on. You can't disassociate Deion Sanders from Jackson State. Last time I checked, what was Deion Sanders coach? And before he coached the game, the same person said against Deion Sanders, you were saying that Deion Sanders was gonna lose. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. When people said, the thing about it is when people said when Deion came in as being, from being the offensive coordinator at his son's high school, let's keep it a bean. He was the offensive coordinator, but he was the de facto head coach.
Yeah.
He was the de facto head coach. It was Coach Hart was the head coach of that team. No.
I can tell you, Deion Sanders was the de facto head coach. Only reason why Deion Sanders wasn't the head coach in Label is because he can maneuver, come and go, and not be at school all day. Because Under Hart was the actual instructor at the school. Deion Sanders isn't.
Right.
So that's why he was the offensive coordinator, because you can volunteer on the high school level at that point and be a coach.
Right.
But also bear in mind, Deion Sanders did not have a diploma and he didn't have any teacher certification.
Right.
That's why he's an OC and not the head coach.
Mm-hmm. So coming into the SWAC, everybody said, well, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, and look, he ran through the SWAC.
I mean, but at the same token, the thing that works against everybody is Deion Sanders, when he came in, the only coaching experience he had was at Trinity.
No, he had prime prep too.
I mean, with same arena, if you get what I'm saying. The point I'm getting at is that TC's resume is impeccable. TC comes into Jackson State well versed and prepared to be a head coach. But we want to sit here and say when it's convenient for us, well, he ain't got no experience. I got to see him do it. That's fine if that's what you want to roll with. I have no problem with that. Right. But the thing is, just like you got to see TC do it, damn it, you got to see Willie Simmons do it too, because he got a donut right now against JSU.
And then I was looking at the interview.
Hold on. Somebody, if he went to another school, it would be the same result. If your auntie had a pecker, she'd be your uncle. I mean, why are we talking about if? Like, what does if have to do with anything? That's like that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Right. He's at another school. Let's see what he do.
Oh my God! Like, come on, man. We got to debate this, man. Come on.
Oh man. But I was looking at the interview with Lightsy and earlier today, and he was saying about the OBC that it was self-inflicted. I was like, self-inflicted? I don't see self-inflicted anywhere. I see that you got dominated from first quarter to the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, here's the thing about that comment. I'm okay. I'm gonna say this. That comment was horseshit. And I get in a big scope of things. If you want to sit here and say, now watch how I'm gonna do this. If you want to sit there and say, okay, we lost that game because of self-inflicted wounds, right?
Right.
A player missed a block here, or the only thing they missed, bro, was a bobble snap for a fumble. But that was no missed throw on that pick six. You didn't give us that. That ball that comes straight to K5, he wouldn't have got that. Mm-hmm. That strip sack fumble we created that fumble. That pump block, we created that pump block. That's what shit. So in the same way that he gonna say that, I'm gonna turn around and say this. You know what? We had some self-inflicted wounds, self-inflicted things that we did. We really should have won the game 82-0.
Really?
But we actually 77. We really should have won 77-0.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, a dropped interception early in the game. This should have been a pick six by Herman Smith. A bad penalty, and also a bad step on K5 where the guy could catch that long pass play for them to get their only field goal, because they really shouldn't have got their field goal that they got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, on the play that we got the fumble return by Crazy, we get down there in the red zone. We actually had a player miss a block when we should have got a touchdown, but we settled for a field goal. Those are self-inflicted wounds. So we really should have had 77-0.
Mm-hmm.
See how ludicrous that sounds, bro?
Nah, I was just saying, like, just look at the game. Like, there was no self-infliction on y'all part because I just didn't see it. We all saw that game. I mean, I know y'all was there. Y'all was there in person. I saw it on TV.
Man, we were there on the sideline. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing I hate that all football coaches do. You don't see this in basketball. You don't see this in baseball. You don't see what I'm about to say in any other sport.
Mm-hmm.
Only in football. We only want to sit here and we discredit the opponent every single time. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. Oh, it was a missed assignment here. Well, guess what? That man in front of you caused you to miss the assignment.
Yep.
It's all the time. We never want to give the opponent the just due. Because look, what Willie said in essence is just like me. You talking to your partner and you say, "Hey man, I'm gonna tell you this, but no disrespect though." You meant the disrespect when you said it. and that's just what he did. He was like, it was all us. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jack State, did a great game, but it was all self-inflicted. That's why it's the worst loss of my career because we did it to ourselves. Dude, really? And I'm gonna tell you something else too, because this ain't going unnoticed. Willie Simmons is smoky right now. And Jackson State and Deion Sanders is Debo. Let's keep it a bean.
Right.
You ain't never heard Willie Simmons talk like this before the season. Prime gone. It's like Prime gone, so I be talking again.
Right. Prime was there.
Cause look, last week he all in Twitter. Now he doing interviews. Everything's JSU. I mean, it's fine by me, because you know what I'm saying. He writing them checks. We coming to cash.
Right.
So Blue Blossom Classic. We coming to render our money. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do. But to me, I just, man, give a team a respect, man. They tapped your 59-3, bro. Really? Really? So my thing is, man, come back and tax that ass, and then we can go about our business, because that's right there is crazy.
And like I said, I was listening to the interview, and like I said, it was a good interview, but we had some reservations. And then just reading the chat, bro, throughout the whole show interview, I was like, you know what? We ain't giving him no type of pass. We ain't giving him no chances. I'm talking about, I said the JSU faithful was in Jeff Lightsy's chat like it was a home game. Like it was a home game. Like, man, they took over that chat. And that's when I didn't know anything. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it last night because I had, we was doing my show.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But here's the thing too. I'm reading no boy to come in talking about, hey, dude was a celebrity. No, bro, keep that same energy. You weren't talking like you talking now before Prime got here. Prime first year, you were not saying what you're saying right now. Let's keep it a buck, man. Nobody was. The coalition was locked arm in arm. Prime ain't on the field. Prime, he ain't got no experience. He came from that his school was good, but they played in that sorry private league. Shador played in that sorry private league. He was committed to Florida Atlantic, so he really ain't good.
Right.
Oh, Jack State ain't gonna do this. Jack State ain't gonna do that. Keep that same energy. Now he gone. We just stuck the mud hole in you for 2 straight seasons, and now he's a celebrity coach. Come on, man.
Well, shit, we already know he was a celebrity coach. You knew that before he even came in. It's just the fact that he came in and got the players that he got.
Hold on. You do know your statement is oxymoronic. How can Jackson State have an insecurity about somebody that we own? We're literally 3-1 in Miami, and we own y'all in Tallahassee. We literally beat the crap out of you and wear snakeskin boots on the way back to Jackson. How do we have an insecurity when we literally beat y'all 2 years in a row
Yeah,
in your class?
and hold on, let's keep it a bean too. The overall record between both schools is 12-7-2. Favor of Jackson State. Let's keep it real.
I mean, I'm just saying, when you say stuff like we have insecurity, we can have an insecurity if you like tend to beat us more than we beat you, but that's not our reality. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what? Like, seriously, what are we doing?
They brought in a stacked team.
Look, I saw somebody last night on the cover say, "Yeah, you know, TC's coaching FAMU by 30." I'm like, dude, y'all ain't total 30 points in the last 3 games we played y'all. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
He brought in a stacked team. What stacked team did we bring in? I mean,
but hold on, but Doc, you say it's a stacked team, but you didn't say it was a stacked team when he first got here. That's what I'm getting at. You got to keep that same energy, bro. Don't change now. It wasn't a stacked team when we came. Remember, we had the little trial thing in the spring, and it was like, oh, they're not gonna really be that good. We only beat them 7-6. Shador, freshman, we didn't lose to nobody. Then, remember, before last season, Jackson State gonna lose 2 or 3 games. Right. Oh, they're gonna lose 2 or 3 games.
Right.
Now we got a loaded team. Come on, man, make it make sense.
The team was loaded. This is after the season, after the domination, the season of domination that we had, and then people start making the excuses like, "Well, your team was loaded." Oh, we just went out there and did. They just went out there and did their job. They had a coach that pretty much want to put your foot in your back, and want to, in a sense, he wants to respectfully demoralize you.
Hey, he said bring him on the show. Hold on, bro. It's not, that thing is no longer the OBC. That's the BBC.
The Blue
Bengal Classic. The Blue Blossom Classic, dog. Ain't no, we done beat the orange off of the classic, bro. Ain't no more orange left.
I'll bring you on the show. I'll bring you on the show after the game.
Hey, look, ain't no more orange left, dog. We done beat the orange off of you. FAMU was just green and white now.
Here you go. This is another thing. If anything, Prime stacked the CU team with JSU players.
He only got 7 JSU players.
That's it.
Well, 8. Well, hold on. Well, 8 now. He has 8 JSU players
with Savion. He took 10 with him. One of them went into the portal, went to San Diego State. He thought he had God dang it. Willis Patrick. He thought he had Willis Patrick to go out there with him. He decided to go home.
And Willis Patrick gonna start for TCU.
Yeah. Thought he had Shane Hooks. Shane Hooks didn't know he'd make his mind up, but he ended up at Auburn. So he really didn't. To me, he really didn't stack the team with JSU players. That's probably like maybe like out of all the players that he has on that team at Colorado, that's only like maybe 1 or 2% of the team. Because he got other players coming in. He got players coming in from other places, and he really didn't take too many high school kids either. It basically he did the same the formula that he doing at Colorado is the same formula he did at Jackson State for the last 2 years.
Yep, to the T.
That's it. The difference between him and TC is he's still going into the portal to get kids and to get players to come in, but he's going his way into parents' household as far as those kids coming out of high school.
Hold on, Doc. Let me mention this. All right, Adrian, you say that you're just proving that the team was kind of stacked. I'm not disputing to say that we had a talented roster. That's not the point. The point is you can't say that we have a stacked team now, but you weren't saying that before the season.
Right.
That's the point I'm getting at. So if you
what I was saying is everybody was saying after the domination that we had last season, everybody was saying our team was stacked. Afterwards.
Yeah, but what were they saying preseason? Before the 59-3 thrashing, what were they saying? We weren't stacked then.
Yeah, we weren't stacked then. They said that was saying that Shedeur he's gonna regress because he's going into the sophomore year. They said that our offensive line was terrible, still going to be terrible because they felt like we didn't address that.
We lost James Houston. You got to replace him. We don't have anything to replace James Houston with.
We lost James Houston. We lost Antoine Owens.
Oh, the defense is going to regress because no way you can repeat the same thing you did from the next year from the previous year on defense, and the defense actually ended up being better the second year than the first year. I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, to a man, people were saying we're going to lose 2 and 3 games. Mm-hmm. To a man, they were saying that. Like literally matter of fact, even people right here in the chat right now, plenty of them. Oh, Jax, they're going to lose 2 or 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let me say this too, because we talk about like what we lost this year. Here's the thing that's funny to me. So take Jackson State's name off of the chest of the players, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about FCS. Now, if any other school in the FCS, let's just say Austin Peay, if they went through what Jackson State went through and had the same players come in with the number 2 ranked class in the country, if that team, Austin Peay, was playing any school in the SWAC, every last one of these jokers would be sitting there saying, oh, Austin Peay going to win that game. Whoever your school is will say Austin Peay is going to win.
Right.
They can't fathom themselves saying that JSU is going to beat my team, because you notice that they're not going to say that. Right. So another thing that's funny to me is that we brought in what we brought in, high school and transfers, number 2 ranked class in the country, by far and away the best recruiting class of all the HBCUs. And they'll say, well, we lost quite a bit, but then other teams in the conference has lost quite a bit players too.
Right.
And then their recruiting efforts are nowhere close than ours, because the only team that they can even say that's close is quote unquote FAMU. Well, let some people say FAMU is better. But if these other schools are nowhere near close to our recruiting efforts and they've lost players too, tell me how they close the gap. Explain that to me logically.
There is no close talent gap. We just have recruited everybody. I mean,
I'm just trying to figure out, explain that logic to me. If these other recruiting efforts aren't even close to ours and you lost players too, how did you close that gap?
You did. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trey. Y'all got a pretty good recruiting class, but we got one hell of a recruiting class too. So I mean,
oh, bro, we not forgetting about South Carolina State. We got them on our mind for game 1. But I'm just trying to understand it. I really want that answer. Explain to me where these other schools close that gap up in the SWAC. Because, like, for example, I could use Southern lost quite a bit, right? They lost quite a bit. Bringing in another quarterback, they don't know who the quarterback's going to be. They'll say we do too, but okay, that's fine. Southern lost quite a bit, but then look at what they brought in. So tell me how they close the gap from a talent standpoint. And they can't be great with their coach because, not saying that Dooley's not a good coach, but he's stubborn as hell. He proved that last year. So how do you know that he's not going to be stubborn as hell again this year? You don't. It's wait and see. So tell me how, from a talent standpoint, we just going to lose to Southern. I'm trying to figure out how they close that talent gap. Then, I mean, let's you can find another school in that too. I mean, I'm just trying to understand where this gap is closed in.
Right. I don't know. I don't see it.
I'm just being logical when I say that.
I don't see it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I tell people, FAMU. I mean, they probably lost quite a bit. You know, they still pretty much have the same team, but I think I think some of the coaches in the SWAC are not thinking year by year. They only think they're thinking, more long term. But in the day and age, in this day with NIL and transfer portal, you have to go like year by year. This is what we're gonna lose. I know this is what we're gonna lose as far as who's graduating. But then you got to realize who we gonna, how many we gonna lose into the portal. Because it's people it's gonna be schools out there that's gonna try to recruit these kids to bring them to their school. So now, when you take that into consideration, now you have to go into like, okay, we got to recruit, and we got to recruit heavy. We got to get these dudes on campus, and we got to make it heavy, and we have to add the depth to it.
I tell you what, though, when you look at Jackson State right now, especially with TC, because I can even say this right now, I mentioned it, last night, but the fact still remains: the man hasn't coached a single game yet, and no, we haven't played a game. But when you factor in, even with any type of remote success, the man has 6 commitments going into for 2024 class right now in June.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already ahead of the curve to everybody else in the coalition with what he's got right now, because as it stands right now, the dude has 4 3-stars committed to his team for December. Now, I saw somewhere last night where somebody said, 3 stars and then everybody get 3 stars. Everybody ain't accumulating a bunch of them.
Right.
Yeah, everybody may get a handful of them, but you're not accumulating a whole bunch of them.
Right.
And also, I like when people say recruiting rankings, the stars don't matter. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Let me tell you why they'll say they don't matter. We love to grasp and hold onto one-offs, right? So we love to say, it's way more 3-stars and 4-stars in NFL than 5 stars. Well, duh, water's wet. It's way more 3-stars and 4 stars than 5 stars. You typically have anywhere from 30 to no more than 45 stars in a calendar year.
Right.
You're going to have about, some instances, you may have 200 3 stars or 300 3 stars. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. They'll say, this one 5-star, he was a bust. Can you have a 5-star bust? Of course you can. Do you have a lot of them, Doc? No, you don't.
Right.
I mean, if you want to go with that one-off, so be it. Just like you can have a 0-star that can get to the NFL. Is it possible? Sure it is. Does it happen a lot, Doc? No, it doesn't.
No.
Guess what? You can have a 1-star and a 2-star that can manifest and become a really good player. Does it happen a lot, Doc? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So this whole thing about the rankings don't matter, that's hogwash. That's hogwash for teams who ain't getting talent.
Right.
So I tell you what, I would suffice to say, if I got a team full of 3 stars and I'm playing a team that got 2 3-stars on the whole entire roster, you tell me who you think gonna win, irregardless of the coaching.
The one with more 3 stars.
As Perry Mason would say, I rest my case. We got to stop picking and choosing when we want to use, what we don't believe in. A lot of us are projecting what we want to happen in commentary, and that's ludicrous. That's the problem.
Right. So I got a question. I'm gonna ask you before I know you get ready to roll off because you got.
Shoot.
Yeah. So, what do you think out of each team in the SWAC? What do you think is missing from their teams?
From each team?
Yeah.
That's missing? For each team, I would say good quarterback play.
Okay.
It's only 2 things that's hindering the SWAC from really elevating. That's dominant O-line play and good quarterback play.
Okay.
Now that's not to say we won't have a good quarterback. The issue is, you may have, like last season, for example, you'll have 2 good quarterbacks, but we got 12 teams in conference. You see what I'm saying? And so the quarterback play is subpar to bad.
Right.
And then O-line, you'll have, for example, where you may have this one team that may have two standout old linemen, but the unit itself isn't good.
All right, it's
We don't have a lot of teams that have good O line play. We may have one, but even that one, what we consider to be good, could be average in another conference. We need better O line play overall because I don't believe the coaching is as bad as people make it out to be.
mm-hmm.
But I do think we could tend to be in our own bubble. But if we can elevate the quarterback play and say get better O line play, I think this conference can reach another plateau and get a lot better than what we think it can.
All right, man. I like what I heard. And so y'all already know what we do. It's Wednesday night and about to be 9 o'clock in about 7 minutes. So y'all make sure y'all make y'all way over to Ken Clark. Y'all hear the good people over there and get all your Jackson State content from over there. Man, I thank you. I'll probably just check in, but I'm gonna watch me some old school WWE on the TV
I
tonight.
got you. I got you, man. Look, I mean, V, I love Go Tigers. I'm out, bro.
All right, man. Man, but hey, y'all make sure y'all check out Ken Clark 9 o'clock tonight. 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. And Trey, even though I know you was trolling me, but you was bringing it in there, man. I like that. And you still family though. You still good people. You still family. So, but but yeah, man. So I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. So I won't have too much anything tomorrow, but I'll be back on Friday, and then we'll be back on. I don't know about Saturday. So if Saturday, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if we do, it'll be a Father's Day show. Um, and I'll do it. I'll try to do one. I'll do one tomorrow if I'm not gonna do one Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see. Whatever comes to my head, y'all. Whatever comes to my head. Oh, hold on. Before we go, Uncle said we need you to SWAC Championship Hotline. I need you to come on and get your SWAC Championship Hotline on so we could get a good laugh before we roll up out of here. I just sent the link in, so come on, Uncle said. I need a good laugh. We need the fam. We need more FAMU. Everybody waiting on you too. Everybody waiting on you too. So come on up here. Oh man, I don't think you want to come up here tonight. Probably do on Friday, but whew. But as always, man, before we go, I gotta run the sponsor back again before we roll up out of here. HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. All right, y'all, man. I guess Uncle said rolled up out of here, but he said see y'all Friday. But hey, good show tonight, and hopefully everybody have a good evening tonight. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all head over to Ken Clark. About to start about less than 4 or 5 minutes. Uh, this has been HBCU Tonight in conjunction with HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure you comment, share with your people, with your friends, and most of all, subscribe. Become a member of the family, because this is what it is all together. This is all family. And make sure if you want to donate, you can hit the Cash App. The link is down where you can send it is down below, or you could do a super chat, a super thank, whatever you want to do. It's all good. And like I said, the money goes back to the channel. It doesn't go into, it doesn't go into a pocket or anything like that. But as always, I will see everybody back on Friday. But y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay dangerous. Be back on Friday night. Peace.